So here we go. We are now back here. We're back here now at the dashboard from the receptionist view. We can see credit brought forward remains the same. Today's sales 0. We have not made any fresh sales yet. Total expected is still 13,000 plus 0 give you 13,000. Payment received is now 6,500. Remember, we received 6,500 from Mr. Frank, just now, a patient in the system. We're leaving the balance to remain 6,500. Now let's come to the summary and see how this plays out. You see, Frank charges brought forward is 6,500. That's the first number one. You see, lab is 0, scan is 0, physics, physiology 0, total 6,500. Total expected is 6,500. Then cash 2,000. You see, it has splitted the payment now. POS 0, transfer 4,500, total paid 0, balance you see is now cleared 0. But Mr. Namdi is remaining, he hasn't made any payment, so we'll leave it here. Another interesting thing is this: if you want to see all the total cash for the day now, you just put your hand on the cash column now and follow it, and you see 2,000 naira plus 0 giving you 2,000 at the bottom. Okay, the overall total expected for the day 6,500 plus 6,500 giving you 13,000. You see how this now works. This is the overall summary now. Okay, now your cash is still 2,000 naira and all that. Okay, so we are going to make an expenses now. Before we go to the capturing of the transaction, we'll go to how to make expenses. You come to your menu, which is the top, the black icon at the top right, or on the left hand side if you are using a large computer screen. Okay, you see it coming out like this at the left hand side, but on your tab it shows at the right hand side, or your tab or your phone, your Android or iOS shows on the right hand side. So now we just finished. We have billing, we have customer database, all of this, but we are just focusing on the accounting area now. Okay, we have billing, we have not gone to that point, but we have used receive payment only. As you can see, we want to go to payout, which is how to make expenses. So we touch payout, meaning moving money outside the company. How do we do that? Now to make payment, we have several options. Okay, we have select mode of payment. You have cash, then select payment options. You have expenses, and you have, okay, let's click on proceed. Sorry, network issue, we send the information. Okay, so this is the next step now. Okay, you see selected option, pay expenses, and we've selected mode of entry that the expenses will be via cash. So amount issued, how much are we giving? Let's not forget the amount of money we have in the cash is 2,000 naira. So let's make expenses of 500 naira. Okay, the date the expenses was made, although this should be automatic, but we'll just freeze it for now so that we can show you the options. Selecting the date the expenses was made, today now, which is 11th of February. Then receiving payment from account. So since it's cash, so we select cash drawer. Okay, now all your expenses have been broken down into sub accounts. Okay, so this money now coming out of your cash drawer is going to where? To your expenses account. If we touch it, you see several expenses options. Okay, you see customer rebate, computer maintenance, you see allowance, see family expenses, electricity, fuel, internet subscription, machine repairs, maintenance, miscellaneous, office expenses, outside jobs, owner's drawing, referral bonus, salary, and all of those. So let's assume we're buying fuel. Okay, and so we have put 500 naira here for this way. You now put in narration. The last field down is narration. When you come to this narration, you enter the details of the expenses you are making. Okay, let's say if that 500 naira can give us 10 liters of fuel, right? 10 liters of fuel. It's not possible to have 10 liters of fuel for 500 naira anymore, or just using it as a trial. This could have been possible in the 80s or in the 90s rather. Okay, so we're done now. So the next thing is for us to process. Once you are done doing entering your expenses, the expenses is quite straightforward. Say post payment. Immediately, it's going to process the transaction for us. You see, successfully credited amount source, cash drawer, debited amount on account fuel. Okay, so let's go to the dashboard to see how this plays out. We come to the dashboard. Okay, see 13,000. All the transaction remains the same. Now we'll come back to the closing account of account. You see expenses, under expenses narration, 10 liter of fuel. Okay, as cash. Now if we look the overall net income now for that day under cash, you see that total cash was 2,000. We've given out 500. The balance is 15. This is where your cashier closes their day. They don't have to start sorting out. This balance cash is the balance cash. POS transfer is in total transfer done for the day. ETC. I mean transfer out, and these are the transfer in for the day. Okay, so now let's go to. So that is for making payment for expenses into the system. Okay,